Alternate picking is a very efficient technique for producing clean and even sounding notes with a pick. Hi, I'm Troy Stetina, and today I'm going to demonstrate the alternate picking technique and give you some exercises for developing it. Alternate picking means that your pick strikes the string from two directions. First is a downstroke from above, the rectangular mark on the tab. Then we strike the string up from below with an upstroke of the pick, that's the V-shaped mark. Be sure to tap your foot along and strictly alternate pick the open first string. The downstrokes happen as your foot taps the floor. The upstrokes happen when your foot comes up off the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Though we usually place downstrokes on downbeats in the music, it's also important to practice the other way, with upstrokes on downbeats. So keep your foot tapping the same as before. 1, 2, 3, 4. The basic alternate picking motion should come from the wrist. We want to strive for the same relaxed movement in single note alternate picking as when strumming chords. The only difference is that the hand is much closer to the strings and uses a smaller range of motion. To get up to faster picking speeds, you'll need to make small motions using just the tip of the pick. A good exercise for getting this controlled motion is tremolo picking on a single note. And here's a short melody to practice that tremolo picking. Now, when you slow down, strive to maintain that same small motion. Before you work on other techniques, like sweep or economy picking, it's good to practice strict alternate picking, even when moving from string to string. It'll teach you to synchronize the two hands with solid timing. This exercise uses all four fingers on the fretting hand on each string. Strive to press each finger down on the string just when the pick strikes it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep playing the pattern, moving up one fret when you reach the highest and lowest notes, and continue that on up until you reach the 12th fret. Now let's try 3 notes per string with the F major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's 2 notes per string using the F minor pentatonic scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's an F minor pentatonic lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here is that one slow. One thing to be conscious of as you practice alternate picking is tension anywhere in your hand or arm. It'll affect your sound, and it may cause physical problems like tendinitis. For that matter, in fact, you should relax all tension anywhere in your body, like your shoulders, your neck, or your jaw. Also, when playing a distorted electric, be sure to keep the low strings from ringing out. This is most easily accomplished by laying your palm across the strings that you're not playing, so that you don't get this. Let's look at the 4 picking mechanics used when moving from string to string. The first one involves leading to the next lower sounding string with an upstroke. And we can take that pattern right on down through the pentatonic scale. Also, realize that this same pattern comes into play anytime you actually have an odd number of notes on a higher string and move to a lower string. So if you played this, or this, it's still the same picking mechanic. The second picking mechanic leads to a higher string with an upstroke. So I'm going to start at the bottom of the pentatonic scale and come up. The third picking mechanic leads to a new string with a downstroke. And here that one is down the pentatonic scale. And finally, our fourth picking mechanic crosses back between the two strings. It goes like this. And down through the pentatonic scale. The only way to get good at alternate picking is to practice it. You can use any scales, arpeggios, or sequences you know. Use a metronome, and you can even track your tempos with a written log to monitor your progress. It's also a good idea to practice alternate picking while developing your memorization and reading skills. Try classical violin or clarinet studies. Basically, any etudes that are written in treble clef are good for guitar. Many guitarists use Paganini's 24 Caprices or perpetual motion because they include long passages with continuous notes. It's also cool to practice alternate picking on folk fiddle music or even bluegrass tunes. Here's a short classical type alternate picking exercise that uses arpeggios on the top strings. First, play down a C major arpeggio in 8th position. The root C is the highest note, then we come back up one note. Repeat that phrase. In the next measure, we use a G major arpeggio. The G is the lowest note in this shape. In measure 3, we have an F sharp diminished arpeggio. Then in measure 4, we move back to a G major arpeggio. This time it's inverted with a D as the lowest note. And finally, the last 3 notes move up the C major scale and bring us back so we can loop the exercise. Memorize each little chunk and make sure you're alternate picking consistently throughout. Here's how it sounds at tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you stay relaxed and use good alternate picking technique before you try to speed up that or any other exercise. Keep up that steady foot tapping. 2.